coverage of this phenomena, if it was, people sleeping out for an iPhone, would be huge. That's okay. You're not a freak if you do that. You got more respect if you dressed up as Yoda waiting for the last installment of Star Wars. Their cause, though, in specific terms, was virtually impossible to decipher. The group was clamoring for nothing in particular to happen right away. Not the implementation of the Buffett rule or the increased regulation of the financial industry. Some didn't think the government action was the answer because the rich, they believed, would just find new ways to subvert the system. That's a pretty hard idea to argue against at this point. The group's lack of cohesion and its apparent wish to pantomime progressivism rather than practice it knowledgeably is unsettling in the face of challenges of so many its generations face. Finding work, repaying student loans, figuring out ways to finish college when money has run out. This is, and I bet you this Gina Belafonte is probably a self-identified liberal. She would never, ever have the guts to write about the Tea Party and how backward ass they are. In 2009, I went down, was it 2009 or 2010? This time last year, I was at that Beck rally. And people were, I've got 8 hours of footage of people saying things like, I believe we got to live the real Constitution. I've never read it, but I'm going to take a course on it in October. And we got to have more God in government. Things like, there should be a law against passing any bills that are over 100 pages. That should be the law. Maybe it was 10 pages, they said. Or we need to cut programs except for Medicare and Social Security because I get those. Or, I visited the Holocaust Museum, and I saw what happens when a majority picks on a minority religious group, and that's why we have got to get this secret Sharia law that is infiltrating our country, and we've got to deal with these Muslims. I don't think I had a rational conversation with any of these people on their own terms. And yet, this is the phenomena that is driving this country. This is what gets CNN to report that a bunch of Tea Partiers are meeting in a Denny's to come up with their own super committee. That's not a joke, what I just said. CNN's literally covering a meeting of some Tea Partiers in a Denny's in Florida. And the only reporting as of Friday morning from the New York Times is that there's some people there who seem to be rather extreme. Well, yeah. And they don't seem to have a clear legislative agenda for what they're pushing. Show me the protest about the lack of accountability of Wall Street that has brought about any real accountability. Show me the moves by government or by well-funded advocacy groups that has. Show me. A bunch of Wall Streeters came out with champagne and sat on their balconies sort of jeering at the protesters. That clip enough. If that's the only thing that comes out of these protests, that's moving the ball forward. The fact that people are just talking about Wall Street, the idea that there is actually anger that is playing itself out by the dedication of a small group of people who are willing to camp out. If that's all that comes out of this, that's as much and as successful as anything else we've seen.